Hello, motherfucker.
Okay. No, they're ignorant. That's ignorant.
We're going to build a wall. What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Emotional damage.
Hey everyone, my name is Shake2020, aka Hammer of Judah, and aka Tagri Medved. I'm going to be showcasing how to contain my opponent here, Vive Moi, Portugal. I'm going to be showing how to contain him on a smaller map with Brit using the Longbow-Pike technique. Now with the Longbow-Pike technique, my objective here is to build a forward base and cut off his supply to any natural resources, which means the hunts that are here on the left side or here on the right side. Seeing as Portugal is a civ that gets multiple TCs, their eco needs more and more natural resources as the game progresses. So my objective here is to keep him as silent as possible and to make him resign by quote-unquote choking him out. Now, as you guys can see, I have started with an opening of a market and the house. Now I've mined a bit of coin just to get enough coin for my hunting dogs, which I have already researched. And instead of my bills gathering 0.84 food per second, they now gather 0.92. Now this is my explorer, Mr. John Phillip. And as you can see by my scouting pattern, it's very important that you scout the entire map. Now, you need to be able to find some good treasures, especially with Brits in the beginning of the game. Food treasures, wood treasures, they're very beneficial to you. It makes you age up quicker, your tempo becomes better because of it. And same goes for Portugal. The more he manages to get early treasures, the better his tempo is going to be. Now, Portugal's first shipment is called Feitorias. Now, Feitorias will give you a food, wood, coin, and XP triple for every TC you have. So let's say he is in H3 and he will have 3 TCs. He will have 0.60, 0.30, 0.30, and 0.30 food and all other resources per second, which adds up by the more TCs you have. So it's a very strong card. People have been complaining about it. I find the card to be good. I don't find it to be too broken or overpowered. I just find it to be good. Now, as you can see, my objective here is to age up with 16 villagers. Why 16? Because I opened with the market. Were I to open with 2 houses, I would have wanted to open with 17 villagers to my H2. As you can see, I'm gathering an extra food just to be able to research Gangsaw. Now Gangsaw will give me a 10% gather rate on my wood. So as you can see right now, my villagers are gathering 0.5 wood per second. With Gangsaw, they will be gathering 0.55 wood per second. So my explorer is standing idle a bit here, but he is exploring. I want to know, A, where all the hunts are on the map. Seeing as I am Brit, I will be sending vills outside on the map to just start and herd in those hunts. A, away from my opponent. B, closer to my TC. I am a civ that is very hungry. I need hunts all the time because early on, Brits have a lot of vills. And if you have a lot of vills but nothing to gather with those vills, it's quite useless to have all of those vills, right? So let's see what the Portuguese player is doing. He is aging up with the Quartermaster, which will give him 400 wood. Now he can use that 400 wood for market upgrades, for housing, and for a military building. Now in transition, I'm going to want to build 2 manor houses. And then I'm going to save up the rest of the wood for a barracks as soon as I age up, and to get my steel traps from the market, which is also a very important upgrade. Rather than 0.92 food per second, I will be gathering 1.05, if I'm not mistaken, food per second, which is way more. It's all about skill. Now here I snoozed a bit. While yes, I did manage in the end to kill my opponent's explorer, he did get the treasure. I was focused on macroing my villagers after the age up. Now the tower, I thought about going over here first, but then I realized that most of his hunts were on this side, and this would be a hotly contested side anyways, and I already have line of sight here. So I will ultimately decide to put my tower over here, alongside this barracks that those 2 villagers are building. Now, as you can see, I'm going to kill his explorer. Now let's compare the line of sight we have. His line of sight is way worse than mine. He doesn't know what's going on in my base. He doesn't know what I aged with. He doesn't know what's going on over here. And he has only practically discovered his side of the map and a bit of the middle. To where he would compare my line of sight, I practically see everything. I know he has a hunt over here. I know he's hunting over here because I can see a dead deer. A dead deer is always an indication of someone hunting somewhere. So, as we can see, this is the first mistake I made during the game. I'm queuing Longbowmen. Now, I don't know what his first military building was. And as you can see, he built a stable. As we all know, hussars or any hand cavalry counters skirmishers. My longbowmen are skirmishers, which was a bad move by me. Now, I scouted this with my explorer, and I quickly try and cancel my longbowmen. But I was a bit too late and only managed to cancel one. But as soon as possible, I already queue another pikeman. Now, I gathered my wood from my first shipment in H2 to 700 wood. So my card order will be 700, 600 wood to be able to build more manors, another military building, and to be able to get more villagers because of those manors. Now, he's going to raid me with those husks. He's got mobility over me. He's quicker than me. He can get to wherever he wants on the map. To counteract that, I have made pikemen. Now my micro has to be on point here. I have to make sure that my villagers don't die. I have to make sure that I don't lose too much, because then this will pay off for him. Let's not forget, he's invested 1,000 resources here, 120 food and 80 coin per unit. This cost me only 200 resources. No, 5 multiplied to 80. Yes, sorry. This cost me 400 resources. So less than half what it will cost him. So as long as those pikemen manage to get a good connect on those hussars, I've got a good trade on me. For the rest, I am right now on 29 villagers, and as you can see on my line of sight, I have built manors over here, I've built manors over here. I'm everywhere on the map at the same time, simultaneously. Now, he was scared to attack this villager because he knew that my pikemen were in the area, and he was right, because boom, I catch his hussar, and all of a sudden, and look how much damage they do. They're very cheap units, and they do their job very effectively. Now, again, he's going to send more hussar to try and raid me. That is the correct thing to do. Brits have a lot of bills, and as you know, Brits need to spread themselves out on the map. So he needs to go start raiding me to put pressure on me. Now, as we can see, I have 2 barracks down, and I'm double training longbowmen. My composition for the early game will be longbows and pikemen. Longbows to counter any musketeers that he will have, or any other infantry that he will have, and pikes will counter his hussars. Now, as we can see, as I predicted, he has started making musketeers. He's on 26 villagers right now, whereas I am on 37 villagers. Now, the Portuguese in the long run, in H3, H4, they might catch up to me. Now, I don't want them to catch up to me in villager count. I want to continue being with more vills. Because of that, I've taken the map, and I will try to choke him in and not let him produce as many units, because here you can see it's all quite comfortable for him. He's making as many units as he wants because he's still got his earlier resources. He's got a TC here protecting this hunt and this mine, and I don't want that to happen. Now, this is the first quite big engagement of the game. As you can see, my longbows are doing a very good job against musketeers, but he manages to get a connect with his hussars on my longbows. My pikes are there to save the day. Now, my best bet is here. I want him to overextend. He's losing Azars. Every Azar he loses is so expensive. Now, if he manages to wipe out my army completely, good for him. If not, then I can remass and clean him later on. That's good for me. As we can see, he's going to overcommit. I'm already shipping my longbows. I'm training more longbows. I got pikemen to defend against those 3 hussars. This will be a very good fight for me. I got the tower here, which he will fight under, and my longbows have 22 range compared to his musketeers 12 range. I can always keep myself at a distance and still be able to fight him well. As you can see, those pikemen get a very good connect on those hussars, and I managed to focus down his musketeers with my longbows. And now this longbow shipment will come over here, and will start spraying down on his units again. And he barely has anything when he leaves my base. He's going to leave with 3 musketeers, one of them less than half HP. So this, as you can see, it's reflecting at the score. I took a score lead. This was a way better trade for me. He will continue to make more musketeers, which is also a very viable strategy. It's called the Musk Huss. But with a Musk Huss strategy, your units are more expensive than my units when I go for a Longbow-Pike, right? And especially with Brits, I can continue to build manor houses because I'm already on wood. Now, I've stopped my manor production for a while because I want to continue to pump out units. And as you can see, I'm already on 13 longbowmen. Now with dispatch on 19 longbowmen. And all I want to do is keep him contained. I don't want him to expand on the map because see, he's getting desperate for food. He has barely any food left. If we can look at his point of view, he has nothing left. He has to expand to this mine. And I see that he is here. I will see that he is here, sorry. I put my Explorer in the front, which is very important. Use their Explorer. He's a 500 HP unit who can tank a lot of shots. Look at how many free shots I was able to get on those Musketeers just because my Explorer stood in front of them and they weren't getting shot. I only lost 2 longbowmen in the entire engagement. And as you can see on the score again, I've taken a 2k score lead. This is looking very good for me. I'm picking off some vills here and there with my longbows. And eventually we're going to move over here. And I'm going to see what he has. Now, he's also doing a good job continuing to raid me with his Azars. And as you can see, I've also added a stable. And I've put my vills on point because I've said enough is enough. I don't want to get raided all game long. I'm going to add Azars of my own, tankier units to be able to do a good job. Now, my vill that was herding away his hunt has spotted those vills. And now I'm continuing to rain fire on them. And now I don't essentially have to kill those villagers as long as they are not able to gather. I'm doing a good job. And again, look at how far these musketeers are from my longbowmen. They will have to come close, and I already taken 2 shots on his musketeers by the time they shoot. Now, let me show you guys a cool fact about the longbowmen and why they're such good skirmishers. A lot of people complain about their firing animation. So what they do with their firing animation, as you can see, they have to draw back and shoot. So their animation takes a bit longer than any other unit. So you can't kite with them. Kiting is going back, shooting, and having an automatic fire. Now, longbows don't have that, but what they do have, if you check here, the rate of fire of these musketeers is 3. So it takes them 3 seconds to take a shot. But with the longbows, 1.5. That means that it takes the longbows 1.5 seconds to take a shot. So in all actuality, their 16 range is 32 range. Is the 16 range attack, sorry, is 32 range attack compared to their 26. So my longbows actually do higher damage with a multiplier against heavy infantry of 1.25. So they counter these musketeers. So he is now making more hussars. So am I. I'm shipping my coin crates as well to be able to supply myself with more resources to make more hussars. And as we can see, those musketeers are melting to my longbows. And again, every second that these villagers are walking is a second that they're not collecting food. So as you can see now, 1,243 food per second he was gathering. And now because they're walking, look at how it's going to go down. You see? It goes down and down and down. This is the amount of food that he's able to gather now. Less than half of what he originally had before. A third. He's gathering a third less food, which means less hussars, less musketeers, and less villagers that he's able to make. And again, we can see it in the score as it reflects. I am around 3,000 score ahead, and I'm continuing to poke, continuing to put pressure. He's also doing the right thing by trying to raid me, but I'm going to be able to send my hussars all over the map once they poke. Here I'm sending some hussars to try and counter-raid him, which I do a good job of. I kill a villager too, if I'm not mistaken, over here. And here I start pressuring him. I take down a house, I take down his stable. As we can see, I kill a vill here. I spot where his explorer is. I hide my vills from his raid over here. So I think I lost one. In the end, I managed to kill 2 villagers over here. I have 46 right now. I'm killing more villagers over here. He has 40. And let's not forget, he's on 2 TC. So for every vill I make, he makes 2. So my job is just to contain him long enough so that he won't be able to make more vills than me. I will have military and economic lead. As you can see again, those longbowmen are just shredding through those musketeers. And a couple of vills die as well because it's on attack move, they attack what's closest to them. Now I have shipped my 6 musketeers over here as a military shipment because I didn't really have much left to ship. So just to defend, just to harass more, I shipped those musketeers. And as we can see, there is not much he can do at this point. He's out of food. He is with all of his villagers on wood, which is not beneficiary for him because he has nothing to do with wood right now. His units cost food and coin. As you can see, musketeers 75 and 25, and hussars 120 to 80. Now here, I was getting raided and I managed to catch it with my hussars. As we can see, this is now a very big engagement. This is kind of his quote-unquote last stand. If he doesn't win this fight, which he won't, as we can see reflected by the score, he has lost this game. There's not much that he can do at this point on. I'm just way too far ahead and he has no resources. He even resorted to building a mill. Now, building a mill in H2 is one of the most horrible things you can do. Because A, it costs 400 resources. B, all of the market upgrades that you have spent for gathering food have all gone to waste because they don't apply to mills. And C, they gather about half as quick as regular hunts on full market upgrades. So soon we're going to see my opponent tap out, call it quits, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is how you contain Portugal on a small map with Brits using the Longbow-Pike technique.
Hücum. Selam. Bu toprağa Türkiye adına el koyuyorum. Hücum. Selam. Hazır.